yourself every day of the week. When the world comes together, united as one, sharing stories through the eyes of InView TV. Through the eyes of, through the eyes of, through the eyes of InView TV.
Catchy music there with our wonderful theme tune. Catchy, I love it. You're watching at home on InView TV at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I'm William Broome here in Sydney. And I've got to introduce you to a couple of very special people. I couldn't do this show without my co-host on the Gold Coast, it rhymes, Belinda Joe. How are you going?
I'm well, William. How are you today?
I'm feeling great. And don't you just love our backdrop? One of our favourite cities. The city that never sleeps. New York, New York, so good. They named it twice. Cheesy.
I absolutely love it. I had the pleasure of visiting New York a few years ago. Keeping them in our thoughts and prayer at the moment, of course, with the coronavirus situation unfolding there.
Absolutely, it's pretty serious, but hopefully we've got a few viewers over in the United States. And of course, we didn't just randomly choose this backdrop. Both of our guests who are coming up have American connections. They spend a lot of time living and working in the United States. And of course, we must remind viewers, watch us every weekday, well, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be interviewing people from the world of business, entertainment, sport, politics, you name it. We've got them. And there's somebody else I've got to introduce you to, the man who helps make this show happen, Bruce Mott, who's very close by, just north of the harbour here in Sydney. Hi, Bruce. How are you going?
William, how are you? Nice to see you.
Belinda,
I'm really
how are you?
Hi, good. Thanks, Bruce.
Looking lovely there, both of you.
Oh, thank you. You are looking amazing, Bruce. Black, one of my favourite colours. What does the T-shirt next to you say?
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, it's an audio thing, a VU meter. It's in the old days before LEDs and lights. It's how you could measure audio.
I love it. Well, it's great to see you, Bruce, and thanks for all your hard work.
He's the audio engineer tonight, Tommy's. That's why he's got it on.
We love Tom, our audio engineer. We've got a full crew here. We've got a whole show. You know, the party starts right now. And Belinda, who have we got coming up later in the programme?
Well, later in the show, we have one of Australia's premier hottest entertainers, Michael Rosato. So make sure you listen to that.
But first, let's meet one of Sydney's top songwriters, singers, and DJs. Let's see him in action, Ray Isaac.
Turn the lights off in this place, and she shines just like a star, and I swear I know her face, and I just can't bring myself no way, but I don't want to escape. I just can't stop. I just can't stop. I just can't stop. I just can't stop. I know you've had a history of lovers. I hear it's turned you off for the others, but I'm the one you've been waiting for. Make me sleep outside your door, 'cause baby I know you know, 'cause baby I know you're scared to be alone. I've run 500 miles to prove I love you. You're scared to be alone. I hold you, sway in Rome as the music starts. Strangers making the most of the dark. 2 by 2, their bodies become one. Is that I'm crazy for you? Touch me once and you'll know it's true. I've never wanted anyone like this. It's so brand new. You feel it in my kiss. I'm crazy for you.
Wow, that is amazing. You are so talented. Welcome to At Home and Lean View TV, Ray. How are you going?
Thank you. I'm really good, thanks. OMG, what was I wearing in the first video?
You look fantastic.
great.
I've got to ask you, you released your first single, I think it was a collaboration, in 2006, and it did really well in the ARIA music charts. How did you first get involved in the music industry?
Well, the first time, I'm just trying to go back. I think it was through that song, the Ministry of Sound song that I released. I mean, before then I was, singing and performing, but I think my big break was when that track came out, and I think the compilation went to #1 in Australia on the charts, and then from there the single got onto the pop charts as well. I think that opened up a lot of doors for me here, to be honest, and in the UK actually at the time.
Because you're
And
still
Ray,
so
what
young,
made-
aren't you? You're still so young.
I'm so blurred.
Belinda,
so
ask.
blurred.
You're looking amazing, Ray. I've got to ask you, Ray, who are your musical influences?
You stole it.
I'm sorry.
I guess it doesn't matter. I know you both want to ask that. Brian McKnight is someone that I grew up listening to, who I absolutely love. He's got like that angelic voice, and his songwriting style I love. And of course Madonna. Obviously because I've not only remixed her music, but I also did a cover of one of my favorite Madonna songs, Crazy for You. So they're the two people I would say influenced me for different reasons. I just love Madonna.
Amazing.
So you would say that your musical, the genres that influence you would be pop and dance?
Pop and R&B, like also
Pop and R&B.
Yeah.
And we're going to be hearing your song shortly.
We certainly will. You've collaborated with some amazing people, Ray, including Bob Sinclair, the French DJ. What was it like working with him?
He was pretty French. In other words,
Zut alors.
everything went down to perfection. It was great. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from the song, to be honest. I just recorded it and just hoped that whoever we got to sing it would do it justice as she did. And it was amazing. We went to like top 20 in Italy on the pop charts. It was
Fantastic.
really loved over there. And we went to #1 on the Billboard dance charts in the US. So I was like, okay. So we're still writing. I'm still working with him. I send him some acapellas when I think there's something that he'll like.
Now, your icon is Madonna. You love Madonna. I know nobody who is as dedicated a fan of Madonna as you. Have you ever met her, and what is it about her you love so much?
I haven't met her. I'd love to meet her sometime. What is it about that I love her? Well, I think it's just her ambition, her not giving a damn what people think, and she's always out there ready to like challenge people and just to push people and push their buttons. And I love her. And she's in her 60s and she's still dancing on a pole. Like, she doesn't care. So I think that's what I really love about her. Yeah,
And a
growing
couple of
up-
weeks ago, you released an amazing cover of one of my favourite Madonna songs. I think we should play it now. Here's Madonna, and here's Ray Isaac. Here's Ray Isaac, and Crazy for You. Can't wait.
Sway in Rome as the music starts. Strangers making the most of the dark. 2 by 2, their bodies become one. over to where you are. Eye to eye, we need no words at all. Slowly now we begin to move. Every breath I'm deeper into you. Soon we two are standing still in time. If you read my mind, you'll see I'm crazy for you. Touch me once and you'll know it's true. I've never wanted anyone like this. It's so brand new. You feel it in my kiss. I'm crazy for you. It's so brand new. I'm crazy for you, and you know it's true. Yeah, I'm crazy for you. I'm crazy for you, baby. Because I'm crazy for you. Touch me once and you'll know it's true. I've never wanted anyone like this. It's so brand new. You feel it in my kiss. You feel it in my kiss. Because I'm crazy for you. Touch me once and you'll know it's true. I've never wanted anyone like this. It's all brand new. You feel it in my kiss. I'm crazy for you.
Ray Isaac, crazy for you there. Ray, that was amazing. I've got to say, I watched that several times on a loop on YouTube, and I read all the comments, and I know they say you should never read comments, but there were a couple of comments that said that was better than Madonna's original. How do you feel about that?
Oh my god, I was like so excited to hear that because I was so worried. I had before I released it, I contacted a couple of the Billboard promoters, and they were like, "No, we can't send this to our DJs because they won't, they want to hear the Queen singing her song, or they want to hear a remix of the original vocal. They're not going to like support it." And I was really upset by that. And I thought it's true. I mean, I only want to play Madonna's remix, and I don't want to play someone else, but because it's a ballad, it's just hard to do, and no one had done it. So I was like, you know what, screw you guys. I'm going to release it because I love her, and I love that song. And hello, David Guetta has added it to his podcast. Don Diablo has added it to his Spotify playlist. Pink Panda, Crider. I mean, there's all these people that are known in the club.
That's what we
scene.
like. That's what we love to
I
do. We
was
love
a-
to support our community.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
Thank
Ray,
you.
a lot of DJs are giving it a lot of airplay, aren't they? And it's getting recognition.
Yeah. And it's being played on like a lot of dance radio stations. So I carefully, like, I'm a full package. Like, yeah, I'm a singer and DJ, but I also run my own business, but it's not like technically a business, but it's all in here. So I create the package, the music package, the genre of remixes, who I'm going to target. Whereas normally a record label would do that, and a PR person would do that. But I just find doing it myself, at least I can rely on myself. You feel me, dog? So I'm really happy at the moment with how it's going up. So the next round of promo, I've got 2 more remixes. One for the tech house scene, which is kind of undergroundy, and then the circuit tribal scene. So that will get released next week, and the music video will be sent out so that it gets broadcast from next week. I wanted it to happen organically first before I went out and spent my hard-earned money, which I have already.
Ray,
And
go on. Belinda.
yes, Ray, I wanted to know, beyond that, do you have plans in the next 12 months, hopefully with travel restrictions rising, will you be traveling back to New York again to continue your parties over there?
Well, was supposed to. I mean, I've got a residency in 2 clubs at Bagatelle in New York and Monarch, the Rooftop. And I was asked to DJ at Fire Island this year, but I mean, what can I do?
Yeah, Ray, I've got to ask you. I've got to ask you, how have you been coping during this period of COVID? Obviously, you've not been able to go out and DJ or perform. So what have you been doing instead?
Look, being jobless means that I don't make money. I'm like everybody else. But in all honesty, I use this time to create. I've been using it to create. I mean, I'm home most of the time anyway, working on my music. That's all I do 24/7. Trying to like make connections, contacts, and trying to promote myself. So this wasn't anything different for me. The only sad thing for me is that I don't have an outlet to release my stress, which is me DJing at a club and being surrounded by people that want to, you know, let loose. So I found other ways, which is me doing like live streaming. So I've done 2 rounds of those, and also I've just been recording myself dancing in my bedroom. Like if I feel a song, I'm like, damn, this is freaking amazing, and so I just push record. And usually at the same time, I know it touches other people who are also feeling a bit down. It's hard to explain, but I think on a collective consciousness, we're all like connected. So I'm able to help people release and heal at the same time that I'm feeling this thing. So
Ray,
that's what I do.
You talk about helping people. What advice do you give for young budding DJs, singers, and songwriters?
I don't have any advice. Just, I don't know. I really don't have any advice because everyone's just different. I'm just doing what I have to do to. I don't know. I don't want to say anything positive and anything negative, except for keep going. Keep going.
Keep going, continue, don't give up. One more question. Absolutely. One more question. You are a DJ, singer, songwriter. What do you enjoy best?
Oh man, it's not what I enjoy best, it's which one gives me the same high. I've never done drugs in my life. I probably drink here and there once in a while. That high that I get, and it always takes me back to the first high I ever got, which was in London, during London Pride, when I got to sing before Boy George. That high, where the goosebumps are everywhere and people were interconnected, that's what I go for. And I get that when I'm DJing and when I sing. Yeah, it depends on the crowd. So if it's an amazing crowd and everyone's connected and I get that high, then yeah, I can tell you.
Ray?
It's just music.
Ray, you have been amazing. Time always gets the better of us. We had so many more questions to ask, but time just flies, it ticks by. Thank you so much for coming on to At Home here on InView TV with me and Belinda. It's been an absolute honour, and we'd love to have you again on soon if you'll be happy to join us.
I would love to. Thank you guys for having me. I mean, I really appreciate it. I'm honoured that you chose me to interview. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. And best of luck. Thank you. Talk to you soon, Ray.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye. Belinda, he is fantastic. He's got to have some social media. How can we find out more about him?
You can find out more about Ray by visiting him on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you like, at Little Ray Isaac. And now we are super excited to be joined by one of Australia's premier entertainers. He's performed in Vegas with Australia's Thunder from Down Under. This is Michael Rosato. What an eye-opening showreel that was. Welcome, Michael, to the show.
G'day guys, how are you?
Very well, thank
Hot.
you.
Hot and sweaty.
What an impressive career you've had, Michael. Can you tell us a bit about your time in Vegas with Thunder from Down Under?
Yeah, no problems. Thanks for that. So I was with Thunder from Down Under for around 5 years. I toured in America for around 2.5 years. By the end of the first year, I went to nearly every state. And then after that, we went to Hawaii. Of course, toured Australia as Manpower Australia. And then for 2.5 years, I was in Las Vegas in the main show in Excalibur Casino there. 13 shows a week to screaming fans. So that was a lot of fun.
I've got to ask you, Michael, you've worked in Australia and the United States. How different are the audiences?
I think they're a lot. Well, they're similar. Pretty much everywhere you go, really. Humans are humans. It just depends. In America, they have more of the tipping culture when strippers are involved, and just in general anyway. So as a performer, you'd have to work a little bit harder for the money, as opposed to females here. They're a little bit more relaxed with that, and they don't really tip too much.
How did you get into the stripping industry? Can you call it, I don't know if, can you call it that? Can you call it, is it an industry? And how did you get into it?
Yeah, definitely. It's an industry. So I got into it because I was a carpenter at the time, and there's a lot of backstory to it. I tried to get into it when I was around 19. I didn't really know how or what avenue I needed to take, forgot about it. And then I met someone when I was a carpenter, and he said, "Hey, I do this on the weekends. Why don't you come give it a go?" And I said, "Okay." And found out I was okay at it and just kept doing it.
Fantastic. You showed him your woodwork, so to speak. Now, I've got to ask you, when you were younger, were you very confident in terms of your body?
Well, I was born naked, so that's probably where it started from.
Me too.
Not overly. I wasn't like, I've always maintained my fitness, so I've never had a problem with, my body as such. But I was always a pretty shy kid, and told don't speak until you're spoken to, and things like that. So I was never really confident. I think stripping brought that out in me.
Is there, we talked about Australian and American audiences earlier, is there like a particular age group that you perform to, or is it across the board?
No. It's across the board, different ages, different genders. It really doesn't matter, and it really shouldn't, because the whole aim of it is, a good laugh, a lot of fun, fantastic night out. Like, I've performed for females and males who from their 18th birthdays and right up to 98, 100-year-old ladies who are a little bit more handsy than the 20-year-olds, funnily enough. So a lot more experienced.
Have any audience members ever got carried away? Have they ever gone too far?
Yes, definitely gone a little too far. I mean, there's things that happens at a male strip show that could not happen at a female strip show. So basically, whatever you do at a female strip show and get kicked out for, goes at a male strip show, if that makes sense. Like, females have basically tried to, you know, rip your nuts off and you know, think they detach and scratch. Like, I had an incident where ladies have scratched me so deep that I've had to, you know, clean the wounds. You know, guys would get kicked out if they did that to a female, and rightfully so. They'd get kicked out.
You know what? I'm asking all the questions. Belinda, you're a woman. You're a beautiful woman. You must have something to ask a gorgeous young man who takes his clothes off like this.
Well, I was perusing your website for research purposes only, I promise.
Me too.
And in the services part, you actually offer a topless tradie service. Can you tell me how this came about?
Yeah, definitely. So when I first started, I was a carpenter, and funnily enough, my first routine or costume or whatever you want to call it was a tradie. And I started getting inquiries, do you actually do this? And I said, well, yeah, actually, you know, this is my day job. And it just started going from there, you know. Come around and mow my lawn, come around and fix my sink. You know how it goes. So it really just started from there, just a few inquiries, and yeah.
You have obviously a very healthy body. You're very defined. How do you maintain that physique?
Thank you very much. It's just
You're welcome.
No, like I said, I've always played sport. I've always liked to keep fit, and I've always thought of it as a job. So there's a goal for me actually training, apart from, you know, when I get older and I want to be a lot, you know, want to be able to move around. You know, no one likes Bang Bang Bart turning up to your door when, you know, they see Channing Tatum on the website. So I think that's a good incentive too, and limits the complaints.
As somebody who takes their clothes off for a living, as stripper, do you find that many members of the public have a stereotype of you and people in your business?
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of so not everyone, but, you know, sometimes there's a lot of talking down and a lot of just the general stereotypes that you would associate with a male stripper, or in that case with a female stripper too. And you can't really let that get to you, really, because it's the same as if you think about any profession, really, and you associate something negative with that profession for no reason.
Now, you said your audience is sometimes mixed gender. You have men and you have women. Do you find men or women are tougher audiences?
Women.
Why?
I don't actually know. I think, well, it depends. Like, for guys, if they're straight, if they like women, then I think I used to strip at a place where they were saying, yeah, all these guys like guys, it's fine, go for it. You can go strip, and they were all straight, so they didn't particularly like it. They were there to see females, but generally the males are a little bit more respectful in terms of, you know, yanking at stuff and, you know, saying things that taking the day out on you, basically.
Michael, you dress up as different characters. Have you got a favourite character?
My favourite would be a nerd. So I do nerd, and I go the whole hog. I found glasses that makes me look like, you know, Hans Moleman, and and I've got big Austin Powers teeth and a wig. Like I'm unrecognizable. I've actually had females try and close the door because they think I'm just some weirdo coming in, and I put on the voice and I hunch over and like this. It's a lot of fun, and I like doing it because anything from that is going to make me look fantastic. So it's kind of good for me, and it's a lot of fun. That's what stripping's all about.
So you would say that you enjoy the acting element as much as the dancing element as well?
Yeah, definitely, because it's at the end of it, it's a show. It's not meant to be, anything more than a bit of fun and a good laugh and a good story for them to tell. Unfortunately, sometimes there's a lot of negative stories that I hear along the way about, previous people that have come to their party.
And Michael, and oh, sorry.
Belinda. No, Belinda, you go right ahead.
The movie Magic Mike, when that came out, how much did that influence how many gigs you got? Would you say you're getting gigs after that? And I do note that you have a website now that says Magic Mike Hens. Has that helped you in your career?
Correct, yes. The movie, the first one, you'll find that the industry kind of goes through waves. A lot of young guys get into it and they think this is a great idea. I've got a good body. I can do this, but really they're in for themselves rather than the people they're doing it for. And when Magic Mike came out, a lot of those guys came into the industry because they're like, I could do this. But once they realize there's a little bit more to it than that, they all drop out. So in one way, it propped up the industry. I was working flat out till 4 a.m. sometimes. But there was also a lot of guys who came into the industry that really weren't doing much for it. So it has its pros and cons, pretty much. And also, the other thing too is everyone thinks that you're going to rock up and be like Channing Tatum. Unfortunately, we don't get 10 takes at it. And, great lighting and this and that. And sometimes you're performing in between 2 single beds. So you have to make do and you have to be creative.
And if anyone out there wants to catch one of these amazing shows in between 2 single beds, how do we get in contact with you?
So you can get in contact with me through magicmikeshens.com. Check me out there. And I work pretty much all around Sydney, New South Wales, Gold Coast, wherever. I travel anywhere, which is why I think I've been in it for so long.
Michael, I'm booking you right now. I'm booking you right now. I'm dialing up. Yep, got it all there. But Michael, before we let you go, and you could stay all night as far as I'm concerned, but before we let you go, we've got to see you do some of your moves. Give us a show. Go on.
Okay, not a problem. Well, I can teach something very, very basic for anyone who wants to do with their partners or whatever. I can teach a body roll, and I'll also give a tip what to do. And that tip would be learn to read the room before you do anything, because that will determine what you do for your show. It will also give a little bit of consent to what you're about to do. And what I mean by that is if people are a little bit awkward, a little bit withdrawn, you probably don't want to be doing the helicopter or anything like that. You know what I mean? So you want to be able to learn to read your audience. And the other thing too is how to do a proper body roll. So when you're doing a body roll, you lead with your chest first, like you're going into a seated position. So chest and seat. And then once you do that, start getting the moves a little bit more fluid. And then what you do is you bring in someone. So
my goodness.
So then we have to bring in someone, right? Sitting right here. Okay. And then the only other thing you have to do is take your clothes off. And then, like I said, body roll. Like that. And then, now I have consent. So,
Oh my goodness.
and the beautiful thing about these chairs is too, you can really turn them around. So you can turn them around,
Don't stop.
do whatever. It's beautiful. So I don't actually have to move.
Oh, don't. I didn't want you to stop. I think all my Christmases have come early. That was
You know the beautiful
fantastic.
thing
That's the
about this is
highlight of my
too,
show.
you got this thing here, so
Oh my
so
goodness, I need my inhaler.
There's a little tip for anyone that wants to do that to their partners or whatever, just a little body roll.
Oh, I need a shower.
I needed a
Michael,
wine.
before I need something, a Ribena. Michael, before we go, oh my goodness, can't take my eyes off. Before we go, what advice would you give for budding strippers?
Don't try. Oh, there's probably a few things I would say. Don't just try and keep it fun. Don't try and do anything too crazy. Try and be personable. Be polite above all others, and just have fun. Don't try and be too. I see a lot of guys trying to be too sexual, like in the face and biting their lip. You just look like a div. So like, just be yourself, and if you cut out for it, you'll find out very quickly. Because you have to have
Michael,
thick skin.
You've definitely got to have thick skin. Michael Rosato, thank you so much. You are more than welcome to come on this show anytime as the warm-up act, as the guest. We loved having you. Thank you, Michael Rosato, and best of luck with everything. And do come back soon. Thank you. Talk soon.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you.
Wow, Belinda.
Wow.
I think my year has just been made. It is getting very hot in here. I'm going to have a shower after the show. Have you enjoyed tonight's program?
Well, it's been a whole package, hasn't it?
I am exhausted. Two great guests. We had Ray Isaac and we had Michael Rosato. What an honour, what a joy, and what an absolute pleasure. I
loved every minute of it.
And of course, we are back next week. We are on At Home on InView TV every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Do join us when we're interviewing some of the top people from business, entertainment, music, you name it. We've got it on this amazing show, At Home on InView TV. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m. For me and Belinda, I'm William Broome, and that's Belinda on the Gold Coast. Take care. Bye-bye.
It's all about beauty. It's all about passion. It's all about change. It's all inclusive every day of the week. When the world comes together, united as one, sharing stories through the